Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Koffers. I am exhausted. The last 2.5 weeks have been absolutely insane. Why? Because I've been on the road. I was at G-Fest, and the second I come back from G-Fest, I am turning right back around and attended my 30th San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, the granddaddy of all shows. And if you've been paying attention to our socials, I have been covering everything Godzilla related that was at the show. And this year was, well, it was a bit of a bonanza. There was a lot to be seen. If you attended the show, you probably saw our panels hosted by myself and our wonderful co-host, Jessica Singh. So for those of you that made it out to those, thank you. But this is the Koffers. This is in the Kaiju Kingdom podcast. If you want to watch that, just keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for the next week or two. We got some fun stuff for you. But we're talking about the fun stuff at Comic-Con. And, well, one of the things I posted in our Comic-Con pre-roll, if you will, was that this company called Cmon, who I guess produces a very big tabletop strategy game, one I'm not completely aware of or familiar with, had a brand new Godzilla game piece along with a comic book to go with it. And it is a sanctioned Toho book of Godzilla and H.P. Lovecraft's most famous creation, Cthulhu, facing off for the first time, canonically. Canonically? Is that how you say that? I think so. So, of all the things I picked up at the show, this is the one thing that everyone was asking me about. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to put all the other stuff to the side, and I'm going to jump into Godzilla versus Cthulhu, Death May Die. So let's crack this bad boy open and, well, see if he was worth the $25 that I paid for him. So, as I said, this is from a company called Cmon, C-M-O-N, and as far as I know, they produce a very fun tabletop board game that apparently a lot of people are fans of. I am not a TTG guy myself. I tried back in the day. Unfortunately, the siren call of StarCraft pulled me away from that and into other strategy games. But I do have an appreciation for those who love to tabletop. Well, I respect you guys. That being said, a lot of people have been asking me about this, like I said, because apparently the company, from what I have gathered, did a Kickstarter for this thing. And I guess the first rollouts were for Comic-Con and a big gaming show in the UK that I believe is at the end of the summer. So the only way to get this particular Godzilla piece was you had to attend the show. I got lucky as I was leaving the Super 7 booth to, as I grabbed my goodies from there. These fine people happened to be right across the way, walked up. They had, and this is on Wednesday night, so they were freshly stocked. And you know what? I love me some H.P. Lovecraft. And more than anything else, the comic book is what drew my attention once I saw it. The figure, well, that was just an added bonus. So they had they had 3 retail prices on these things because they're 3 different covers. I picked up the main cover because that was the one I liked the most. There was a B cover and a C cover. Those sold out very quickly. I went back Thursday morning and the C cover was already gone. That one was about $40 with the B cover being $30. This bad boy right here was only $25. Now you might be asking, $25 for a comic book? Well, you got both the comic book and the figure. So the way we're going to do this, I'm not going to completely review the entire comic because I kind of want to save that for another little show. But we're going to open this comic book. I'm going to show you the artwork, some of the fun stuff in it, and then we're going to dive right into this guy because I'm actually legit curious what he looks like. So here we have the comic in question. As you can see, it's Godzilla, Cthulhu, Godzilla vs. Cthulhu, a Death May Die story. So from what I've gathered, Death May Die was an expansion pack part of this greater game. So this is an officially sanctioned Toho piece. So published by Cmon and a company I'm not familiar with. So it's a nice look. So here we go on the back. This is the Death May Die game. This thing sold out actually very quick as well at the show. I was legit shocked when I went by. I had a couple of people ask me to pick them up, some of the game pieces, and unfortunately the covers they wanted were already gone. So I managed to get the B cover for one friend, but they had also asked about the greater board game, which this thing was not cheap. I believe it was like $120, $130. Don't quote me 100% on that. That said, so this is the Cthulhu figure that comes with it, and the little game pieces. So this is pretty much an expansion pack, and the comic's a fun little bonus. They used to do this kind of stuff back in the day. The old He-Man figures used to give you a comic book back when people cared. So this is done by. So the story is by Jonathan Mayberry, and the art is by Bruno Abidos. I hope I am pronouncing that correct. But as you can see, the art's actually pretty good. I kind of dig it. It's on a nice glossy print. This is actually a high quality comic. So there you got Cthulhu, Godzilla. So essentially, if you know your Cthulhu mythos, Old God, all this fun stuff. Book takes place in Boston post World War I. Evil cult summons Cthulhu, and Godzilla rises to the occasion to face off against, the elder gods. So it's a fun little story. It, it's pretty basic. It's just about 30 pages of Godzilla and Cthulhu, facing off, asking the greater question, what god is going to win. So it's I would put it up there with the older Dark Horse comics when they did the one-offs. Like, this is essentially like Godzilla versus Hero Zero, where it's just, you have the two characters, they want to face off. We're writing a fun little story, non-canon, just for, schnitz and giggles, if you will. But other than that, it's a fun book. I read it last night. I enjoyed it. We'll do a fuller review later on, but I wanted to give you guys just a look because I've had nothing but curiosity on this thing. I know people love themselves some H.P. Lovecraft. I read a lot of Lovecraft myself during my high school years, as a lot of people do. He's one of the masters for a reason. So seeing an official battle between the two, it's fun, but that's not the big thing here. So the comic is only that was the lure. The other thing that most people have been asking about, what does this figure look like? So let's crack that bad boy open. All right, so we got the Godzilla game piece figure. Like I said, I am not familiar with this game, so I have no idea the rules, what the reasoning is for it, but, the basic understanding of tabletop, everything's kind of runs out of the D&D style. Let me back up there just a little bit. So, this box is about 5 inches. As you can see, there's my hand. So the artwork on it is pretty neat. I'm assuming this is the very, as you can see, it's still sealed. I have not cracked this guy open. So there you go. This is the back. Zoom in on that for you guys a little bit. Gives you an idea. So let's crack this guy open. See what he's all about. Alright, so it's got a little flap back here. Yep. Alright. Open. few things in here, actually. Okay. These look like little game pieces. They look like rocks. And then these look like point pieces. So double-sided. There you go. And this is the instructions. There you go. You guys can read that. I have no idea. This might as well be in a different language. In fact, there are different languages in this, so, but I don't speak TTG. Now for the figure itself. It looks like we got a little card here. There's a couple of cards. Alright, so these look like cards that you play on the game. You get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 Godzillas, it looks like. Get a close up of what that says. I do apologize about the lighting again, guys. I'm in my temporary setup, but I'm working on getting it all nice and neat. So there you go, and that is the back. So you get a bigger picture of Godzilla. And you got whatever these are. I'm assuming these are game pieces. Yeah, so that's your attack. So again, not familiar. Not familiar with what this is. But I'm pretty sure if you know the game, if you know your TTG stuff, you're probably screaming at me right now through here. But again, my apologies. I am not a tabletop guy. So put those to the side. Let's look at the actual figure. All right. Put it to the side, and there we go. Now this is actually a really cool figure. He looks like he's 3D printed. He feels like resin, or at least a heavy-duty plastic. So yeah, he's resin. So you drop this thing, he's gonna break. But it is a very awesome sculpt of the 54 design. This is pretty awesome. So I'm assuming with many things like Warhammer and stuff, he's completely paintable and customizable. I mean, clearly. So he's got a few joints. Oops, sorry. Got the camera so you can see where he's glued right there. So that is his base with the Toho logo. But yeah, this is awesome. I used to actually have a few hero clicks. I didn't play the game, but I loved the sculpt on the figures that you would buy to play the game. They were just awesome. They were small enough that you can display them. This is no different. I am in love with this thing. For $25, this is a deal. This is a hell of a deal. But other than the fact that I don't know how to play the game, like, this is just for display only. Like, I know there's people out there right now buying this guy up on eBay for over $100. That's what I've been seeing the flip go on. But that said, fantastic little piece. If you're just a figurine collector, this is something I would, happily should have in your collection. He stands, like I said, he's about 4 inches tall, and just an amazing sculpt. And if you're a great painter, you could do wonders with this thing. I mean, look at the box. Clearly someone has painted him up. But as you know, with one of my things I know about tabletop gaming, half the fun is in the prep. So I know a lot of people that love painting their figures, customizing it. Overall, this is actually pretty cool. The whole thing is, for the price I paid for it, I'm really happy with this. I got a comic book and a really high detailed figure for $25. That is an absolute steal in this day and age, if you ask me. I'm probably going to put this guy up on my shelf, away from any place that's going to be breakable. The spines in particular, these are, a stiff breeze feels like it's going to knock them off. I don't want to really break anything on that. The segments on the tail, this is a well done figure. Whoever sculpted this, bravo. And this is absolutely one of my favorite interpretations of the 54 Godzilla, and it just overall a damn fine figure. Well, there you guys have it. That is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Cmon Godzilla Death May Die Cthulhu expansion bag figure. Again, for the price point, a damn good steal. These things did go quick. I check back with the guys every couple of days, so by Sunday they were gone. So if you unfortunately didn't attend the show, or you got in too late, these guys were pretty much off the shelves. From what I was told, there will be another chance to get them at a gaming show in the UK, and then I think they said something about a wider release down the line. I'm not sure what that's going to entail, if it's just the game piece or the comic book. It felt like the comic book was the true San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but they didn't have there's usually a little Comic-Con sticker that anything that's an official San Diego release gets on there. So this actually might be coming for a wider release down the line. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I was hearing. But overall, $25, damn good deal. I'm very happy with this buy. It's one of my more favorite Comic-Con buys in the last few years. I didn't spend a lot of money this year, but this was one of the things I was most curious about. And it did not disappoint. So remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like to download, you can always stream us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you find better podcasts. We're also on social media. You can find us on X at The Kaiju Kingdom, Instagram at The Kaiju Kingdom, and Facebook.com/The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. And that will do it for this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.